Hello and greetings from the Etty Hillesum Center in Deventer. It's so exciting to come here and learn a little bit more about my historical friend, Etty Hillesum. This is the book that I first read, and it's called An Interrupted Life. This contains the diaries and some of her correspondence that Etty Hillesum kept between the time that she was 27 until her death on November 30th, 1943 in Auschwitz when she was 29. Come take a look at this little exhibit dedicated to her life, as well as to tackling the questions of how we can live well together today. There's some Holocaust history here, and one of the most striking parts of the exhibit is this photograph from 1942 of a class. All of these Jewish children were in a class together, and we learned that only one of them, this girl in the white dress in the center, survived from this entire class of Jewish students. And here's a photo of her more recently. Here's a book of names of Jewish victims, and there are also commemorations of the other victims of Nazi persecution and genocide. There's also some colorized photos of Etty, which was really neat to see. And over here, to make the exhibit more engaging, there's a little bit of looking yourself in the mirror and asking questions about what are my reactions, when am I silent, what do I want to change in the world? A little bit of confrontation with the life and questioning and grappling with personal responsibility that Etty, by her life and letters, teaches. There are also many quotes of Etty Hillesum throughout the exhibit because she is eminently quotable. There are also sections on the different kinds of systems and lack of personal responsibility that we can find in the world today. And then the question of how can we come to reclaim it? So there's this beautiful little excerpt that I'll finish with from Etty's diaries. She says, "All this devouring of books from early youth has been nothing but laziness on my part. I allow others to formulate what I ought to be formulating myself. I keep seeking outside confirmation of what is hidden deep inside me, when I know that I can only reach clarity by using my own words. I really must abandon all that laziness, and particularly my inhibitions and insecurities, if I am ever to find myself, and through myself, find others. I must have clarity, and I must learn to accept myself. Everything feels so heavy inside me, and I want so much to feel light. For years, I have bottled everything up. It all goes into some great reservoir, but it will all have to come out again, or I shall know that I have lived in vain, and I have taken from mankind and given nothing back." She goes on to say, "Perhaps my purpose in life is to come to grips with myself, properly to grips with myself, with everything that bothers and tortures me and clamors for inner solution and formulation. For these problems are not just mine alone. And if at the end of a long life I am able to give some form to the chaos inside me, I may well have fulfilled my own small purpose." Well, she lived a relatively short life, an interrupted life, and yet after all of these years, I'm still following the thread of her life, and she is continuing to fulfill her purpose even after death.